All right, guys, welcome back to another Randocast of the RetRead podcast. And tonight, we have a special treat for you. Friend of the show and writer, Ivan O'Neill.
What up? Hey, guys.
He's sitting in tonight for Anna, who couldn't make it due to scheduling difficulties. Tonight, we're going to talk about Mad Max Ghostly Road. AKA
not the real title.
Right, AKA mostly ghostly. One night in Doomhouse.
Doomhouse nicht. Doomhouse.
Doomhouse nicht gesagt. All right. All joking aside, this is an R.L.
This is a really
Stein
serious. All joking aside, this is a serious movie with serious characters, hardcore plot development. I saw a lot of literary significance here. And I count this as to be one of the best movies I have ever watched in my life. A lot of cinematic, just gold here. Really.
I think Ivan's being a little bit facetious here.
Yeah, I'm being a lot facetious about this shit. It is...
Shit being the operative term.
Shit being the operative term.
Honestly, I gotta say, so we reviewed another movie on the Randocast previously. It was that Hong Kong cinema flick called, I can't remember now, but you know what? I'll give this movie something. It was better than that one.
It was. It
was not the worst movie I've ever seen.
It was not the most terrible movie ever. It was. The great thing about this movie is that it has one of the most hardcore actors you will ever find in movies. It has Danny Trejo, and for those of you who don't know, the guy has had a hardcore life. He's had a hardcore, actual, brutal life. He's been in movies like Machete, and what else? What else was he in? From Dusk Till Dawn. All these movies are really hardcore, brutal movies, and he himself has had a really brutal life. But then he does these kid shows, these really kiddie shows.
Yeah, so you mentioned earlier that he actually was in prison.
From what I heard from Wikipedia, he was, and that's this is just going by what I've heard, but I would not venture to say that that's false, because the dude looks hardcore as hell.
He does have a little bit of facial scarring going on. He looks a little bit angry.
He's got a bit of facial scarring on. Have you ever see the guy when he's whenever he plays a movie where he's got his shirt off and stuff? He's got this hardcore looking chest tattoo. He's got all this all these hardcore looking scars. So the guy's like a stone cold badass for real, totally
okay,
for real.
So we have Ivan O'Neill's stamp of approval of hardcoreness.
I have a stamp of approval for Danny Trejo being in this kiddie movie.
Ivan is hardcore for Danny Trejo.
Hardcore for him being in this sort of movie, because it really shows the versatility of him as an actor too, because he can do all this hardcore stuff, but also
okay. Once again, I see Ivan slipping a little bit into facetiousness here. Actually, we don't want to mislead you. He only appears at the beginning and then at the very end. The main character of the movie, Max. The main premise is his family moves into a haunted house, and it's actually haunted by these two really chill ghosts. They're horny teenagers, brother and sister, and they just like to put on a show for Max. Honestly, I'm just quoting the movie here. And you can tell. There's something going on.
That is by in a literal in a literal interpretation, that is what they like to do, because he gets these two ghost teens to put on a seance show and move stuff around.
Yes.
And
and then
mess stuff up to make people think
stuff
there's ghosts.
Starts moving around, and then the tablecloth gets lifted up. It's pretty hardcore.
Serge left quite a bit during that scene.
It was uproarious.
I mean,
uproarious laughter resulted. Now, listen, guys.
I would say
the other main character is his girlfriend, who is in a dance crew. Now, Ivan, do you remember her name? Because It escapes me at the moment.
I actually don't. I don't remember any of the characters' names. I literally only remember the
Mad
demon.
Max.
I remember Mad Max, Furious Furious Ghostly Road, and then I remember no one else after that. So no, sorry.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, I remember Mad Max Magician Road. That's about it.
That's right. Max is an amateur magician. He's not very good.
That's the major point of this whole feature.
Yeah, this
like
whole farce.
You miss that, and you miss the deep human tragedy that is Mad Max Ghostly Road.
Okay, so
deep hardcore human tragedy from R.L. Stine.
I'm not surprised that I missed out on all the literary significance and the various character development in the show. And that's why we have writer Ivan O'Neill.
An expert of the written word and the English language.
Exactly.
Kind of,
so maybe you can give me
Not
a
really.
quick plot breakdown and character analysis.
So listen, the way this works in terms of like a three act epic structure, we could say, is you have the first part, and then the second part, and then the resolution.
So
I can't apply a kind of actual literary merit to this. To be honest,
I think you do make a point, because there is a first part. The first part sets up the story where we have Max and his girlfriend. There's conflict there. He's very selfish at first. He doesn't really recognize her as her own person, but he still wants to help out. He sets up a seance to raise money for her troupe to be able to go to the competition. This is where the conflict comes in. There's this really douchey friend of hers that's also in the dance troupe. He wants to get her pants. His dad owns a fish store, and he has a motorcycle.
Brought up once, by the way, that he owns the fish store, and then it's brought up once in the fact that they wear these dance outfits or whatever. They have like so and so's discount fish market on them.
Yeah,
but it's not made into like a big joke where it's like, oh, like his dad is like, obsessed with fish, or like some goofy stuff like that you'd see in like other sorts of stuff. But yeah, there's a bit of a conflict. It does follow the kind of structure you might see in other bigger films, where you've got the protagonist, as the great Harry S. Plinkett would say, you're got the protagonist. You got the protagonist who goes through. He starts off. Actually, he doesn't really start off in too bad of a situation, because he's got like these ghosts who are like clearly raking in the dough for him, clearly making a lot of money for him.
He's also going out with the prettiest girl in the
going
school.
Out with the top notch
queen bee,
the queen. I don't know a queen bee, but you could say that she's definitely popular. Going out with this really popular person. And, and
all of her friends also want to bang him.
Yeah,
it's a little bit ridiculous.
Certain implications are made.
It's not implications. They come out and say it. Actually, this is kind of like a little bit of a male fantasy kind of thing, isn't this?
I mean, you could make that argument. You could make that
some
assessment
kind of like, 13-year-old kid, like, is probably watching this going like, I wish I was this amateur magician.
The thing is,
who discovers a meth lab in a haunted mansion.
That's the other thing. They stumble at a certain point in the film. They stumble onto a rejected set from Breaking Bad. They actually stumble onto this. What is it? It's not like an interdimensional portal. It's like something else. It's like what's the place that they go to where it's all like the chemicals and stuff? It's like it's the dead parents.
It's literally
it's the ghost lab. They're Danny Phantom Ghost Lab.
Yeah, exactly. They make these things called ghost drops. Literally, they're
ghost drops.
Ghost drops.
It's a little insidious,
quote unquote ghost drops.
A little sketchy, in my opinion.
Which, yeah.
So like,
basically, what happens with these ghost drops is if they break. And the vapor or dust or powder or whatever is released,
the vapor
people start seeing things. Literally, anyone that's been exposed to this,
it a little bit turned into kind of
it got a little trippy.
It got a little Jacob's Ladder at a certain point. There's also and for real though. This was not a scary movie at all. I would not call this a scary movie.
I got scared.
Except, I got scared at the one part, which I think I mentioned to you while we were watching it, was, it's a straight up, like, taken from like the Stephen King universe, like clown, which is a real person playing a clown who appears when after the ghost drops come into effect.
And by the way,
looks like Pennywise.
As
exactly
the listeners
like
may know,
yeah.
RetRead, big fans of Stephen King.
Are you?
Yes, we are.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
Not so much fans of his son, though.
I don't know very much about his son, to be honest.
Yeah, his son, Jonah Hill, I believe.
For reals? Or is that just part of the movie?
Something Hill.
Something Hill? His son Something Hill apparently
not up to snuff.
RetRead is not up to does not rate Jonah Hill as being up to snuff with Mr. King. He has not gone through the kind of the personal hell that Mr. King has gone through. He only did that in Wolf of Wall Street, and after that, it wasn't real. So,
All right, so
I would say this movie was actually I would say it was enjoyably silly. I don't know if I'd recommend anyone paying money for it, but it's still
on
a lot of
Netflix.
fun.
We watched it on Netflix, so if you already have Netflix,
check it out. Yeah.
And you have a friend,
give it a shot,
or a friend of the show that is willing to come over and watch it with you, and you guys want to have a few beers together and just have a good time.
That's a fun time, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hardcore
prerequisites. Maybe one of you needs to watch Breaking Bad prior.
So, all right, the reason I brought up Breaking Bad because look at there's a certain I won't spoil it for like the 5 of you who haven't seen Breaking Bad. But
Me included.
You included, of course.
Although I have been to Albuquerque.
You have been to Albuquerque. You may have maybe even passed by a couple of the scenes where Walt mugged at the camera and like looked shocked and afraid for his family. But yeah, there's a scene that just looks like the meth lab from Breaking Bad. So hence the ghost drop jokes were abound at that point, and people were seeing ghosts. It turned into straight up Jacob's Ladder, Fear and Loathing territory. It was really kind of trippy. So, worth it to check out just for that point, and for the Stephen King Pennywise clown that appears, which is legitimately scary. The rest of the movie is not like a scary movie. It's not. I wouldn't think. There's a couple points when you might be a little spooked, we might say, but not a lot. So yeah, it's not a scary movie.
Here's an interesting thing: the movie feels like there may have been a prequel, and it definitely sets up for a sequel.
That was a weird thing, is that they kind of imply like this seems like it could have been a show more like on the Disney Channel, in my opinion, because it's got this setup where it's these two ghost siblings who are trying to find their way home, or to where is it, to the afterlife, or to where are they trying
the
to
upside
find
down?
They're trying to find their way to the upside down, bouncing off the ceiling, and they can't find it, and they got to get this like human kid who's like, he's the kind of nerdy type of protagonist. He's not really. He's nerdy kind of protagonist.
Are we human?
Or are we dancers? Wait.
Do you get it?
Or are they dancers? Yeah, because because of dancing.
Yep.
Correct.
Wow.
It took me a moment to get.
Yeah,
that.
the killers totally predicted this movie. Also,
this is totally predicted.
Hit us up in the comments below, or send us an email, or hit us up on Twitter if we're completely off base and there actually is a sequel and or prequel, and we just are ignorant of that fact.
If there's a rich lore to this universe, please let us know, because like I wouldn't say I'd give it a watch, but I would like to know if our assertions are correct about this film. So it's let us know. If you're big Mad Max Ghostly Road fans.
All right, Ivan. Any final thoughts?
Give like you said, give it a watch if you're willing to have a couple beers with a friend and have a fun time. So, yeah, that's my final assessment. And also, Danny Trejo and kids movies can't go wrong. So,
I will drink to that. Peace out, guys, and we'll see you next time.
Later.